Now, before this fight, I denied a multi-million-dollar contract from MVP Promotions to fight Jake Paul, and I'm fighting a real fighter tonight. So I'm not a part of that circus league of boxing. This is the real league of boxing. This is where I'm gonna...
Before his most recent fight, Nico Ali Walsh revealed that he had turned down a multi-million-dollar contract from Jake Paul's MVP Promotions. Instead of joining what he called a circus league of boxing, Ali Walsh chose to fight a seasoned professional. That decision sent shockwaves through the boxing world. The grandson of Muhammad Ali not only extended his record to 10-1 with a unanimous decision in Saudi Arabia, but he also made a statement about the direction of the sport.
One thing that's for sure I gotta clear, Teofimo Lopez said in an interview a few weeks ago before this fight, he said he disrespected my family, saying that I'm only in boxing because I'm desperate for money and fame. And I thought that was real wrong for someone that I used to look up to say. But you know, it is what it is. I just want to let everyone know that I chose the path of boxing. I chose the path of legacy. If I wanted to, I could be a millionaire right now.
His message was clear: legacy and competition matter more than hype and social media attention. Ali Walsh's comments cut deep because they came at a time when Jake Paul has been trying to legitimize his place in boxing. Paul has built his career on high-profile events and celebrity matchups, but critics argue that his resume is filled with aging MMA fighters and carefully selected opponents. His one bout against a true boxer, Tommy Fury, ended in defeat.
I would win. Serious as a heart attack. I think he thinks that he would knock me out, and I think that is maybe the reason why he doesn't want to do the fight, because I think he wants to avoid maybe knocking me out.
He doesn't realize how good you are.
Exactly.
If he knew, maybe he would...
Maybe the fight would happen.
You think you can knock him out?
Can I ask you a question?
I think there's a very high chance of that. He's not the same fighter that he once was, and he knows that.
For Ali Walsh, rejecting the Paul fight wasn't about ducking an opportunity, it was about respecting the sport. In his words, he wants to pursue boxing as a career and a legacy, not as a payday. It's a sentiment that resonates with longtime fans who have grown frustrated watching boxing's spotlight drift toward exhibition matches and YouTube personalities. Predictably, Jake Paul fired back on social media, mocking Ali Walsh for ducking him and calling him a beneficiary of his famous last name. But the irony is hard to miss. While Paul thrives on spectacle, Ali Walsh is charting a path built on the very values that made his grandfather a legend: discipline, respect, and a willingness to face real fighters. The clash between the two men isn't just personal, it highlights a broader divide in boxing today. On one side are traditionalists who value skill, legacy, and competition. On the other are entertainers who generate attention, money, and pay-per-view buys, but whose boxing credentials are often questioned. Jake Paul has undoubtedly brought new eyes to the sport, but as Ali Walsh reminded everyone, fame is no substitute for substance. In boxing, true respect is earned in the ring, not on social media. Layla Ali made headlines recently when she took a swipe at Jake Paul on social media, reminding fans of the discipline and sacrifice it takes to be a true boxer. It's another example of how Paul's verbal jabs at boxing legends have backfired, and this time, they've set the stage for the biggest fight of his career. Jake Paul is scheduled to step into the ring with none other than Mike Tyson. The bout, set for November 15th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, is drawing massive attention. Paul has been confident, some would say overconfident, insisting that he has a real chance to knock Tyson out. At 27, Paul believes Tyson, now in his late 50s, isn't the same fighter he once was. But let's not forget who Mike Tyson is. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a man whose ferocity in the ring was unmatched. Even at his age, Tyson remains one of the most feared names in boxing history. For Jake Paul, this will be more than just another payday, it will be the toughest test of his boxing career. Originally, Tyson and Paul were set to fight on July 20th, but the match was postponed after Tyson suffered a health scare. In the meantime, Paul agreed to face a replacement opponent, Mike Perry. Perry isn't a tune-up fight. He's a former UFC fighter with a reputation for toughness and a perfect record in bare-knuckle boxing, where he's quickly become the sport's biggest star. Though his professional boxing record is limited, Perry's grit and power make him a dangerous matchup for anyone, including Paul. The July 20th fight against Perry will serve as a proving ground. If Paul can get past Perry, he'll move forward to the much-anticipated clash with Tyson in November. But if Perry pulls off an upset, and he has every reason to try, Paul's road to legitimacy in boxing could collapse before he even makes it to Tyson. What's clear is this: Jake Paul has made a name for himself by calling out big opponents and generating attention outside the ring. But the boxing world is still waiting to see if he can truly back it up against legitimate, battle-tested fighters. Layla Ali's recent criticism only underscores the tension between hype and heritage in the sport. July 20th and November 15th are now circled on the boxing calendar. Whether Jake Paul rises to the challenge or falters under the